What a good day. It's really, really nice, coming to you today. And it's such a good one that I want you to know what I want to share with you right now. And I bet you it's going to be great information for you. And now, do we prepare for marriage? Should we prepare for marriage rather? Yes, we should prepare for marriage. Because anything you prepare for, you have a better chance to execute that thing very well. But what you don't prepare for, there are chances are that you can forget or you may not do it the way you should do it. Marriage is a vital, part of the human existence that preparing for it can never be overemphasized. First, there are many things to do or to prepare for. While you're preparing for marriage, there are many things when we talk about preparing yourself by getting information, the right information for marriage. We're also talking about you also preparing in the area of your spiritual life and academic wise and just relationship generally, preparing that way. But there's one aspect that is very vital. In short, that begins every process, and that's prayer. You prepare for marriage first by praying for your future man and your future woman. You don't just jump into marriage like they are generally noted, and then you also don't wait until when you are due for marriage and then you begin to pray for marriage. That's going to be late. It's just like somebody waiting until harvest time and then you begin to prepare to plant your seed or begin to plant your seed at that time. That's just going to be wrong. You plant your seed earlier on, and then there'll be a time that the harvest will result. And that's why it's important, when it comes to praying before marriage. When should you start praying for marriage? Yeah, 16. Age not from 16. Age not from 15, 16, 16, especially 16, 17, 18 and above. You begin to pray. Especially for the ladies, you begin to pray. In short, it also is also the same for the guys. So people may say, why should we be praying for marriage now as a teenager? Just like also saying, why are you going to school now? You're going to school now because a time will come, you're going to graduate from the school and then begin to do a job. And then, of course, literally, you also marry. The way you prepare for your future, about your job, about your vision, about your profession or whatever, is the same way you also prepare about your home. Proverbs 24 verse 27 says, and I'm going to read from the Amplified Version, and the Bible says that it said, put first things first, and then prepare your work outside and get it ready for yourself in the field, and afterward build your house and establish a home. Now, one of the things that helps you do one of the best preparation is the place of prayer. Pray for the woman you're going to marry, or pray for the man you're going to marry. One of the importance of praying for ahead, in marriage, is that it helps to guide you in your choice making. Because of wrong choice making, a lot of people are regretting their marriages today. And I just want you to know that if you don't choose correctly or choose rightly, you will actually begin to regret for the rest of your life. And that's why it's important for you to pray, before the choice making time. Because there'll be a time where you will have to make a choice. Everybody makes choices when it comes to marriage. It's either your choice have been led by God, and then you are just trying to say yes to somebody because you're convinced that the Lord wants you, but actually it's out of a choice you've made. Because you may also choose not to follow what the Spirit of the Lord is telling you to do. A man may say, the Lord has asked me to marry you, and you may say no. So all of these are going to be, at the end of the day, is going to be choice you're making. And so because you are going to be making choice at the end of the day, you will need to pray so that you can be guided properly. So prayer helps you to discern correctly, to discern if this is the person or if the person is faking it out for you. And then you will know if actually there's something wrong. It can only take God to reveal to you somebody is not the person they put out themselves to be. Because a lot of people can come to you and they will fake everything. They will fake everything. In short, there was I think there was an episode, someone who was sharing something, and how a man was regretting after their first night out after marriage. And what is the reason? Because he said the very thing he saw when he opted for the marriage is different from what he saw after the marriage took place. That same day the marriage took place, the night of that very day they were married. And so which means that perhaps the lady had faked out a lot of things, and the guy didn't know. And so it's you can't know anybody except the Lord helps you to know people. And that's why it's important for you to pray. And once you have made the choice and then you've gone into this marriage, the Lord's going to be, regret it. And if that's not the right thing you have done, it means that that's going to be regretting all the days of your life. And you should please avoid it. That's one of the things in life you must avoid. To regret in marriage. You must do everything possible to avoid it. And of course, the thing you can do to avoid it is to pray ahead of time, so that you don't run into that particular mistakes in life. All right. Now, I want you to know this. When you pray, ahead of your marriage early enough, it's going to help prepare the person, because you're going to be praying, Lord, I need a man who has this future, has this character, has this kind of thing. And then you begin to pray, and as you're praying, God will begin to form or raise someone in that description. So I wanted a woman who is like this, who is like that, and all of that. God will begin to work on a sister or a lady somewhere to fit into that. And when you see that person, you will now know, oh, this is the person I want to marry. And that's the way it works. So prayer is very vital, very important, can never be overemphasized when it comes to choice making. But you must start praying far before the time the choice making will be made. Don't wait until that time. Because you might be having a lot of headache, a lot of confusion before you, because you should have actually sown that seed early before you make a home. So the Bible says here, prepare in the field before you come build your home. Another thing prayer does for you is that prayer helps you to ease up the whole process of marrying. You may be prepared to be married yet, but maybe the man you want to marry is not even prepared. But you see, because you've been praying long enough before that time, God helps to put that man in order before that prayer. Before the time of marriage. And then apart from that, when you pray ahead of your marriage early enough, it's good, because it also helps in the process in the time of the marriage. Do you know that a lot of people have received gifts on their marriage day that affected their marriage? Evil personalities come, to do certain things just to destabilize the marriage. Okay, so because of that, you will need to begin to sow the seed of prayer long time before the marriage. It helps to cover many things. A lot of people do not know that some of the things you enjoyed during your marriage were not just because of the prayer you prayed, a day before the marriage or just a few days before the marriage. There were seeds of prayer sown several years ago that is now adding up as fruits for you during that marriage. And of course, if you want to build a story structure, you must first of all go deep down before you can erect something big on top. That's part of the engineering specification. Now, if you want to actually have a beautiful home, you must first of all sow the seed of prayer deep down as the foundation of that marriage, so that by the time you are married, both of you are married together, you will discover that you can, everything is just good to go. That's just the way it works. And then you find grace, to handle things. Grace to handle things, because prayer seed have been sown. And so we encourage young people, and as a parents, you're watching this, encourage your children to start praying for their marriage. And then just hope that someday just one Mr. Right is going to appear from somewhere, or one Miss Right is going to appear from somewhere. No, they must learn to begin to prepare for future on their knees. You prepare for future on your knees in the place of prayer. All right, that's what I want to say. There are other things I'm going to be talking about, in the course, as part of preparation in the course of this, our time and engagement together, on this channel. But then I want to encourage you that you should always, hop in again into the channel to see the things that we have, for you. The Lord bless you and the Lord keep you. And until we meet again, remain strong.